I just checked the England score.
What's the score?
I'm going to check it again, actually, because I checked it before.
2-0.
It's ended 2-0. A goal for Harry Kane and a goal for England debutant, Miles Lewis Skelly. My brother, Hale End. You already know what it is. Certain man think that he shouldn't have got a call up in the first place.
Here's the thing, yeah?
Yeah.
On merit, you're right, he deserves a call up because there's not better left backs. But I don't like when England or just national teams call players up too early. I just don't like that process.
Yeah,
like what they done with Kobe Mainoo, like when they done it with Rashford. For me,
puts a lot of pressure on them.
Puts a lot of pressure, but it almost getting an England call up should be like the pinnacle of your career. Do you know what I'm saying? But when you get it too early, it's like you almost lose that hunger.
For footballers' careers are getting younger and younger, though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when we were back in the day, a player batting it up that was 23 was young. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, at 23, man, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, what are you? What's your resale value? What's like 23, 24 is not even seen as young anymore, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Things are just getting earlier and earlier. That's just how football's going.
In the case of like a Lewis Skelly, though,
he's like 18, so he's definitely young.
He plays in a position where I guess there isn't going to be a lot of burden of pressure. Left back isn't like you. Like when when Michael Owen came on the scene, or Wayne Rooney came on the scene, it's completely
he's not a normal left back. He's a goal scoring left back, brother. Scored against City, scored against Albania, the mighty Albania. You know that team's hard, brother. That team's hard, bro.
This guy's chatting shite, bro.
Who's chatting shite, bro? Albania, bro. Could you score against Albania? You dumb, blood.
But I don't get paid that money, blood.
Rashford does, bro. That's your player, blood. Need it. You know what I'm saying?
He plays for Aston Villa.
You lot are still paying part of his wages. Did you see what I was gonna say is talking about the reaction to his call up? Did you see that?
I didn't see that.
I'm trying to find it on Twitter. He got the call up. They posted a picture of him, you know, arriving to England or getting his call up, and he had a smile on his face. And bro, the messages, yeah, it's gonna be another one of them. Is it racist or is it not racist? Yeah, but like, man, know when they're talking about something, and it's not racist. Like, some English people think like racism is saying the N word, and if they don't say the N word, then it's racist.
They're gonna say something I don't like. Go on.
But the stuff that they're saying, like,
what were they saying?
Bro, it's literally just thousands of messages of like, this guy, he's got the most punchable face ever, what an arrogant cunt, blah, 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 just thousands of them.
Why do you think that's got anything to do with race, though?
Because I don't see, first of all, he hasn't done anything arrogant. He hasn't done anything, you could say maybe the celebration, the Haaland celebration, but like, what I don't like in football is when there's a new thing. When I was younger, this wasn't a thing, yeah? When people say, you haven't earned the right to do that. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about, bruv? When I was younger, man see Craig Gardner from Sunderland slap a goal against Arsenal and do the maddest celebration. Who the fuck is Craig Gardner? He's a nobody from Sunderland. It don't matter. This is football. Anyone can. Now there's this like hierarchy thing of like, it could be Mainoo who scores against us. It's like, well, how many trophies have he won? What are you talking about?
I hear you.
What are you talking about?
I agree with that. Bro, once you're on a football pitch, bro, you can do what you want.
So then it's not.
But but I don't.
Because I'm talking about the level of vitriol for this player. Like,
you think it's got anything to do with race?
100%.
I think you might be reaching on this one.
My conspiracy.
I'm getting Uncle Tom every week.
Bro, let me tell you something, yeah? Let me tell you something. I feel like, genuinely, yeah? I feel like a lot of English people only like people of colour when either they are like a subclass to them, so either you come over and you're working class people, if we develop and go above them, financially, socially, whatever, I think they have a big problem with that. Like, almost like, how dare you? Do you know what I'm saying? Or if we're serving them. There'll be a club in Mayfair that don't let black people in, but the DJ will be black, the dancers will be black, the music will be black. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, the rum and all that kind of stuff's going to be Caribbean, but black people themselves won't get in. Like, it's completely, what can we take?
Bro,
do you know what I'm saying?
I could be so detached from
people will argue when people.
But I genuinely don't see that.
When people were arguing, yeah, like man has seen it with Rashford, man has seen it with Sancho, man has seen it with Mainoo, man has seen it with Saka. We've seen Saka. Saka's like as perfect as a footballer can be.
The only person who I used to see it with was Rashford.
You not seen it with Saka?
I see that people give racist abuse, but that's just racist abuse. I don't think Saka gets he gets monitored or criticised as much as a Grealish. Grealish gets criticised as Grealish is white.
Definitely not. Saka gets more criticism than Grealish, 100%.
No, I don't think so.
And also, you're talking about someone, Saka, who's one of the best players in the league, and Grealish is a £100 million signing that is massively underperforming. He has the same amount of goals in the same amount of appearances as Casemiro does for Manchester United, and he cost £100 million and he's a winner. What are we talking about? Do you know what I'm saying? What I'm talking about is unwarranted criticism. I'm not talking. I'm not talking about Saka missed the penalty. So Saka missed the penalty, so he got cussed for missing the penalty. That's not racism. I'm talking about stuff that's completely unwarranted.
Alright, cool. Let me tell you. For me, yeah, in the case of Lewis Skelly, bringing it back full circle.
Yeah, go on.
I don't know. I didn't.
Problem is, you ain't got Twitter. You need to get Twitter. You need to see it.
I didn't see what you were talking about, but for me, I just genuinely feel like when you're an Arsenal player, you're always going to get a certain level of hate. That just comes with it.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like England have also done this thing. Because, let me tell you why. England have done this to him in the sense that when you give someone a call-up so early, and other people... In Lewis Skelly's position, genuinely he deserves to get a call-up because there's no other left back.
That's what we're talking about.
But people don't see the context of that though. People don't see the context.
Who else is going to play left back? He just scored in his debut. Thomas Tuchel is German, bro. Thomas Tuchel, you've hired him. He's come in and he's gone, cool, let me pick the best players in the best position to win games. Now man are crying.
No, but I don't.
What am I doing?
But I don't think the people who are crying is out of. I feel they're crying out of ignorance. Maybe they should. They definitely shouldn't be crying. But they're not crying out of race, bro.
Man have not even put forward an argument of like, how can he get picked and not this person? Man have not even suggested.
That's why I said this out of ignorance. Because for me, and I definitely.
What's the difference between ignorance and racism? Lots of things that are ignorant are also racist.
But not everything that's racist is ignorant. Not everything that's ignorant is racist.
Okay. Yes, I agree.
So my initial response was, of course he shouldn't have get a call-up. Why should he get a call-up? But then I deeped it and I used logic and I'm like, no, he has to get a call-up because there's no other left-back. But my initial response was, he shouldn't get a call-up. That isn't because I'm racist. Oh, definitely not. But it's purely and simply because, for me, I feel like the barriers of entry to play international football should be greater than what he's done thus far. However, when I use logic, that's why I said, when I use logic, I realise the issue is there is no other good left back.
What happens if you look at someone from a different race to you, and for whatever reason that triggers something in you that stops you from being able to use logic?
But it's not. But this is me being real. I feel like if Lewis Skelly was white, he would have got that same treatment.
Nah, there's no way.
Bro, he would have.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't believe
he would have got the same treatment.
I don't believe so.
I think so.
When man were arguing on Twitter, people, the racist guy's defense was, look at the treatment that David Beckham got. Brother, we're going back 22 years to when, because they were like, they burnt effigies of David Beckham. That was one. I'm not saying he deserved it, but David Beckham got sent off in a knockout game when he was meant to be one of the key players, and England lost. Man are comparing that was 22 years ago.
So what you're saying? So you're saying. Let's say who's
name them all. Name all white English players.
No, I'm gonna say
Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, James Maddison.
No, but they never got in. They never got in the team that fast. They never got in.
What difference does it make? Huh? He's the best left back for England. He just and then on top of that, he's just scored. He's just scored now.
No, but the criticisms were before, bro. The criticisms were before.
But I'm saying the fact that he scored shows that he is at least the level.
Let me ask you. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying, bro. You're getting it so confused. Alright, cool. Kobe Mainoo, when he got into the team, at that time, he got into the team based off purely and simply off merit, based on performance. However, as a person who watches international football, I just feel like the barriers for entry should be harder to climb. Now, it isn't, because England don't have good enough players in that position. However,
that's the barrier that you're making a mistake. Do you know what I'm saying? You're acting like England have a bunch of great DMs or centre mids, and then Kobe Mainoo got in over them. It's not that. That is a barrier to entry. You have to be one of the best players in your position. That's the barrier to entry.
But we're talking about an initial reaction. We're talking about the initial reaction. The initial reaction is...
The same man that were complaining that Kobe Mainoo got called up for England are the same man that would complain when Jordan Henderson's been called up, when Calvin Phillips is called up and said he's not... Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you man are arguing both sides. That's why I feel like it's racist. You man are arguing both sides. You man can watch Jordan Henderson and Calvin Phillips and say, these men are not England quality, they're not the level, they're past it, they're not the best right now, blah, blah, blah. But then get upset when Kobe Mainoo gets called up. What do you want? Who do you want to get called up then? What are you talking about? Make it make sense, bro.
I was one of the people who initially thought, Lewis Skelly shouldn't get a call up.
But we know you're Uncle Tom. We know that already.
No, but bro, it had nothing to do with black, bro. It had nothing to do with black. It was genuinely because I felt like if England's a top team, an 18-year-old who's literally in his debut season, just after the performances that he's had, shouldn't be getting a call up this early. But then I deeped, you know what? There is no other left back, so of course he has to get a call up. But it's not until I actually deep that did I say that. I just feel like people are posting on Twitter without actually processing the fact that there is no other left back in the country.
Okay, and the people that are saying like, you know, he's arrogant and he's this and he's that and all the man that are criticising his character. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm reading some of the tweets. Man's called him a thug. Man said, not this thug. Why is he getting picked?
Now that might be rooted in racism. That might be rooted in racism.
A lot of the stuff they're saying is like it's not direct racism. It's got a lot of racist undertones.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Because he's from London as well, isn't he?
Yeah, of course he is.
Where's he from in London?
I'm not sure.
But he's from
North
London.
Boy, innit? Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So in that sense, that he's a black boy. Obviously, he's gonna get typecasted, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that straightforward. And you know how it is already. So in that sense, yeah.
Someone said we've taken 3 steps backwards.
Bro, I'll keep it real. Some people do like to just hate, bro. That's just the realest thing. And I do think some of it is
overhyped. Another media bullshit. What do you mean media bullshit?
But again, you know, that person, I would say that there's all the borderline racism in that. Because let me tell you why, yeah? Because he said another Manu. Do you know how much other English flops we've had?
That's what I'm trying to say.
But Manu is obviously the reference that you can use. Why can't you just say he's going to be another Saka? Do you know what I'm saying? Or he's going to be another Bellingham. No, their successes. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What makes you say that he's going to be a flop? Why would you use Kobe Manu as a reference instead of using Saka as a reference?
The whole thing, I'm not like, there's just bare stuff that's like I say, it's not direct.
It's not
direct racism, but it's like stuff that's coded in racism. Go ahead.
I was going to say, when Michael Richards got it, I literally look at...
Little tosser, England is not behind him. Why? But why? Why not? What's he
I don't read Twitter, bro.
I'm just this is English people. I'm just looking at the reaction of English people. Why any IC3 player would play for England, man can never understand.
I would play for England.
It's your Uncle Tom, we already spoke, not talking about you, bro. Go on, what you said when Michael Richards broke through.
Yeah, when Michael Richards broke through, it's similar to Lewis Skelly. It's similar to Lewis Skelly.
Like I say, bro, the English man, if you're going to dance for them or you're going to season their food for them, they'll love you. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you're going to go and be successful in life, man ain't going to love you. That's just what
I don't know about that, bro. You sound like a black man with a chip on his shoulder.
Not at all.
Bro, you'd have never thought that well, I'm not even going to say what I
I knew what you were going to say.